All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I think we'll get started here. My name is John Randall. I'm a regional director for GoldenCare USA, and I want to thank everybody for taking time out of their day to jump on the webinar today. This is actually a fairly quick webinar, but I just want to point out a few things to you, especially when using the Mutual of Omaha software. I'm going to pull the software up at the end and show you another example. But again, it shouldn't take too long, so I want to thank everybody again. If you've never been to our website, goldencareagent.com, go check it out. Look at all those tools. All of those are available to any of our agents that are licensed with us. The statistician compares all the long-term care companies. CSG does all the Medicare supplements and Medicare Advantage plans. We have the LTC CEO selling tools. Great thing in there. Tells you everything about Medicare, Medicaid, spend down calculators. It has a calculator in it for inflation that I'm going to actually show you today also. Anyway, we have a lot of great tools and a lot of expertise here to help everybody out. Today we're going to do dial it down. It's basically just showing you how to give the person the same amount of protection in most cases, but make the product a lot cheaper. When Mutual of Omaha did their repricing structure, they hit 3% compound, 3-year plan, the hardest of everything. So the better you can stay away from 3 years and 3%, you can actually reconfigure it to get way back to the price that it was before this price difference when they adjusted the pricing. Everybody was so used to selling 3-year 3% that it makes it look a lot more expensive. But we're going to just show you how to dial it down, back it off a little bit, and still get away with giving them a great plan at about the price, same price. So, you know what? In reality, the need hasn't gone away. It's still, any plan is a good plan, and the cost really isn't what a lot of agents think it is when they look at it and just go, oh, that's way too expensive. They really have to learn how to just change the way they're selling the product. Give them the same amount of plan or a little bit less, but make it affordable. So when we really look at it here, oh, there we go. 90% of the prospect pool still hasn't addressed long-term care. Nobody really wants to talk about it. It's getting harder and harder to get people placed in that. That's why we've come up with a lot of short-term cares and home health cares to make sure we can get all of our clients some type of coverage in case they can't qualify for long-term care. And we know the media is never helping us out. A lot of times they bring up stories. In fact, the biggest one that hit was some lady out in California that paid her plan for 30 years, and then when it came time to use it, it wouldn't pay for her home health care. Well, little did anybody know that the plan was a nursing home only plan, so why would have it paid for health care? But they never come back and say that part of it. So we have to make sure, as agents, we're out there educating the public. You know why? Because if we don't do it, nobody else is doing it. We're the only people that can insure their retirement plan. Well, all we have to do is explain it to them that it's costing them pennies on the dollar for that coverage. If they can only afford a small amount, you know what? Make it work. Get them to feel comfortable purchasing now. You can't have the person say, well, I'm going to think about it, because all of us people that have been in long-term care for a while have realized that there's people who wait. I had a couple that went on a cruise, and the lady fell down the steps and became uninsurable because they waited. I also was lucky enough, about my 5th policy that I ever delivered, it turns out the lady was in a nursing home, so I was delivering her a policy that she was already accepted for. And you know what? She needed it right away. So I couldn't believe the looks on their face when they went, wow, this is the greatest thing I ever did. I didn't plan on falling and hurting myself. but we would have went broke without this plan. So remember, we're the only people out there offering it to them. We're a small fishbowl of agents, and we have to really get out there, do our job, and make sure we're getting people ready for the new reality. I don't know why my computer keeps locking up here. So let's start out with inflation. Every 1 point of inflation is a 20% premium increase. So if you went from 3% down to 2%, you save 20% of your premium. Right now, only about 20%, 1 in 5 policies are using future purchase option or no inflation. And that's starting to grow daily. A lot more people are saying, let's just give them all the benefit up front. And I'm going to show you how that works too. And skip the inflation. We know that partnership is a great selling point, but we also know it isn't always actually a very solid plan for a person to move into a Medicaid facility just because their coverage has ran out so they can go on Medicaid. So I don't think it's used that much. It is a good selling point, but don't let that overshadow the way you can design a plan. And then just ask the people straight out how important that is for them. We have the guaranteed buy-up option, which says anytime in the first 20 years until the age of 75, which is ever sooner, you can increase your inflation without showing insurability. You just can't be on claim. But you could actually have been diagnosed with Alzheimer's, just not on claim yet, or something like that, and you could increase your inflation. It's only available on the custom solutions, which is what we sell mostly anyway. But that's another real good start somebody at a smaller inflation, and as their bills go down as they age, they can raise their inflation without showing insurability. Even a 1% inflation is going to increase their benefit by 1/3 in 30 years. 1.5 increases it by 50% in 30 years. So there is some growth there, and if you're starting out with a bigger chunk of money and inflating it out that far, 25, 30 years, you still gave them a good plan. So every time you lower the increment, even by 1/4%, you're saving 5% in premium. So let's say an average couple has $4,500 for that the sale is right now. 5% savings is $300. If you change it down by 0.5%, you're saving them $600 a year in premium savings. So inflation's really a great way to really get in there and dig down and get right to the price point that you need. Let's show you a quick example. Bob and Carol Davis, both age 60, non-tobacco, living in Arkansas. Neither have any really concerning health issues, and they have about $4,500 budget available to solve long-term care. So if you have that 60-year-old couple, $5,000 a month, 3-year plan, $180,000 policy limit, 3% inflation, it comes in at their budget, $4,347. But you know what? You could save them about 18% just by dropping that down to a 2% inflation. Or you could take that same 3% and run it for a 20-year term, which puts them out to about the age of 80. But look at that, you're saving them almost $650 a year. That's pretty good savings, and you're giving them ultimately pretty close to the same plan. They're all partnership improved. Now, I'm going to show you in our example, when I'm done with this slideshow, that actually just increasing the monthly benefit and lowering inflation is a win-win. It's cheaper for the client. They actually have a lot more coverage out front. And unless they play dirty and live to be 120, it's almost a win-win situation every time. If you on the software hit the pick inflation, this screen will come up and show you all the other alternative prices. And that works, and it also show you which ones are partnership qualified, which inflations. Um, and if you see, the custom has a lot more inflation options that have become a partnership than the secure does. That's another reason we use custom a lot. And I'll show you where that pick inflation plan is. But this shows those two alternatives, number one and number two, that I had in the slide before, and that's the price of them. So it's really an easy way to go in, look at different inflation options, and get those clients right to the premium dollar that they were looking at. So we really always want to maximize the savings with the custom. Again, if you start with a 3% lifetime inflation, it's relatively common. That's for everybody else. That's what everybody compares it to, but it's not always in the budget. So you got to be able to reduce your premium, use that automatic buy-up because there's no additional underwriting for that. And in most states, a lot of the states have dropped down to 1% for the partnership program. So in those states, you really can give them the best of both worlds. Even though, again, partnership isn't utilized that much, it is a great selling point. So what we want to do is shorten the inflation terms in some cases, especially if they're 60 or 65. The main goal is to try to get them out to age 84. That's the age when most people are already going to be on claim or get on claim. So we want to get them out to 84 or 85. And again, I'll show you a calculator that we have that really, I use it all the time. It really helps to try to figure out how to get those premium dollars down by lowering inflation, making sure they have the same or more coverage. So again, if it's a single person, or I'm sorry, if it's people that want to go to the assisted living and stay at home, here's the actual Mutual of Omaha cost of care. You can see assisted livings are about half of what a nursing home is. So you can save some premium dollars just by moving the assisted living from 100% down to either 75% or 50%, and still make sure that person is covered in most cases, or it pays the lion's share of their bill. So one more way to knock some dollars off the premium is by using that. Remember, if you ever need assistance with designing a plan, that's what we specialize in. Call us at 800-842-7799. You can send an email to marketing@goldencareusa.com or submit a quote request through our website. And this will be in the slides that everybody who has attended will be getting today. So there's no sense in writing them all down now because we will be sending you these slides. The reality is, right back to where we started, 90% of the people still haven't addressed long-term care. But you know what? And the COVID-19 really brought out the realization that people don't want to go to the nursing home. They want to have that cash that's in the Mutual of Omaha product, and they want to be able to stay at home. With Mutual of Omaha, we have the 200% professional home care, which means we can keep you longer at home without as much out-of-pocket money as any other plan in the nation. So it's a great plan, and it answers the needs of the clients. And if they have to, because they've either become single or can't take care of their home or get too bad, we still have the nursing home and assisted living on there. So remember, give us a call. I'm going to still show you a couple things, so don't jump off yet. But 800-842, again, this will be in our slides. Now let's see if I can get this thing to... There we go. Here's a little example. I'm just using Nebraska because they'll go down to 1% inflation, still be in partnership. But I'm just going to try to explain a little bit about the 3% 3-year. If I can get this thing to cooperate. So it's just a basic plan, $3,000 a month, 3-year plan, 3% inflation, and it's $3,832 for two 60-year-olds. But you know what? What if we went up to $6,000 a month and took the inflation off, but you're saving them about $400 a year? Now, there's a lot of different ways to do this. You could do $5,000 at 1%. But the main thing I wanted to do is show you here that you can save them some money by getting rid of that inflation or lowering the inflation. And then here's that calculator I was talking about. I know it's a little small and hard to see, but I put $3,000 in there at 3% compound inflation against $6,000 at no inflation. If you're using this and you change the numbers, you always have to click here and then calculate a new table. But remember I said about 25 years down the road, or get them to age 84? Well, look at that. Right there at age 23, the $6,000 plan is still ahead, just by a little bit. But you know that any time in that first 23 years they go on claim, they have a bigger pool of money, and it's cheaper. The 24th year at age 84 is when it finally crosses over. You still have a good plan with both of them, but if the longevity runs in their family, it's probably better to have some inflation on there. But if they just want to be covered to the national average and above, look at how much stronger that is. And I have examples in my other one, my other presentation that shows basically you could start out at a $10,000 pool with no inflation, and the other one will never catch it. Or they'd have to be in their hundreds before it does, and you're saving them a ton of money. But this is just a quick example. I wanted to show you this tool. I'm always comparing different inflations at different amounts because I want to make sure I get them out to the age somewhere between 78 and 86, but I stick around the 84. But anyway, thank you everybody for joining me today. I know that was quick, but it was just I just wanted it to be something to make you think a little different and think outside the box. Everybody have a great day. Feel free to call us at 800-842-7799 and enjoy your weekend, and hopefully spring is coming. Thanks everybody.
Check out our website, goldencareagent.com, or give us a call at 800-842-7799.